Emily, and welcome to our chair yoga practice for today. Grab a strap if you have a yoga strap. If not, grab a scarf like I have. You could also grab a belt. You don't have to have those, but they'll be nice to have. You can also grab a couple of pillows, just whatever you have around. We'll use those as a little bit of support throughout the practice and then towards the end as well. Get your chair. So your chair can have any sort of back. Try to have one without sides because we will move and shift side to side to take some different shapes. Today we're going to stay mostly seated. There'll be options to stand up, but I'm going to be mostly seated, and you can then add on as you wish. Go ahead and find a comfortable spot to sit. Sit up a little bit further on your seat so that you can get the knees right over the ankles. Have a little tilt of the pelvis. By that I mean instead of kind of sitting back, so you have this little bit of rounding in the low back, can you tilt the pelvis a little bit forward? You find the natural curve in your low back. You could have maybe your scarf or whatever it is resting in your lap if it happens to be there. You could also place it on the chair right behind you so it's easily accessible. Make sure the feet are really planted firmly, not like on your tiptoes. The knees are over ankles, shoulders stacked over the hips, and at any point when you're ready, you could close the eyes or you take the gaze right down to the ground in front of you. The head stacked right on top of the shoulders, hands relaxed in the lap. I'm going to start by noticing the breath. You notice the body breathing. You don't need to do anything with it, just observing. As you breathe in, expanding. Breathing out, releasing. Breathing in, growing taller. Breathing out, keep that height, a little softness in the shoulders, the jaw. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Might start to deepen the breath just a little bit here. Might start to make a little sound in the back of the throat. It's like you're trying to fog up a mirror. A little bit like the sounds of ocean waves coming in and out on the beach. Maybe that causes you to rock a little bit forward and back as you visualize waves coming in. Inhale. Waves going out. Exhale. Breathing in, shifting slightly forward. Breathing out, rocking a little back. Breathing in, forward. Breathe out, back. Really small movement unless you prefer to move a little bit bigger. Rocking forward once more. Inhale. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Settle into the center. Lift the spine up nice and tall. Now you start to make little circles by pretending like the head is drawing a circle on the ceiling above you. You rock forward a little bit over the knees, over towards your side, back, and around. Making these as big or as small as you'd like. You can certainly let the neck roll a little bit as well here. Eyes still closed, with the gaze really soft. Still going in one direction. Pause when you're back in the center. Little moment here. And And start to go slowly in the other direction, painting circles on the ceiling, noticing if there's a difference between the two directions. Several breaths here. You might link the movement, inhale, rocking to the side and forward, sweeping across, exhale, sitting back around to the side, inhale forward, across, back, across the back, inhale, exhale, could be a breath out of the mouth, inhale, hands can just slide on the legs here, exhale back, once more, pause, sitting up tall again, press your feet firmly into the ground, press your seat into the seat of the chair, curve in your low back, a little engaged in the low belly, spread across the shoulder blades on the back side, and then across the collarbones on the front. Back of the neck is long, that little point where the neck and the skull meet. You lift that up a little higher, press it slightly back, so shoulders over or underneath your head. Couple breaths here in stillness, watching, noticing, even if just with that really gentle, slow movement, there's been any shift. You can slowly start to open the eyes now. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears, let them fall down. Exhale. Inhale, shrugging up, really hug them up. Exhale, let them drop, roll them a little back. Nice. Inhale, squeeze them up. Exhale, let them drop down. Nice. One more time, just like that. Inhale, squeezing the shoulders up as high as you like, really tensing. And then exhale, release that tension. Let them fall down. Find your strap, scarf, belt. Hold on to it in either hand, a little bit wider than your shoulders. And the idea here is to keep the back of the wrist straight and to keep the elbow straight and to keep there a little bit of tension in whatever you're holding on to. So resting the scarf across your lap. Inhale, bring it up and overhead. And maybe this is where you stop. Maybe you have room on your exhale to come a little bit further back. You can pause wherever as you finish the exhale. Inhale, coming back up to that point above the head. It could be a little bit in front. Exhale, the scarf strap comes down into your lap. Inhale, coming up. And if you need to widen out the hands, you can do that as you take it back behind the head. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, back to the lap, staying nice and tall. Do that a couple more times. You can change the width of the hands as the shoulders start to open more. Inhale up and exhale back. Always the option to slide them back out. Inhale, reach up, pull the strap in either direction the entire time. There's a little bit of tightness across, so it's not like really loose and goosey here. Inhale up and exhale back. Nice. This time, pause somewhere along the way that feels really juicy. Feels like a really nice stretch. Usually that's someplace behind the head if the strap is coming back behind you. And just this really soft sway from side to side. A little bit like flossing action. You feel some pretty intense sensation here into the shoulders, the biceps, triceps, and forearms even. Inhale, the strap comes pretty much right overhead. Tip your right hand down to the ground, the left hand reaching up, side stretch now. Once you found a little bit of the arch that feels good for you, pull the left hand up to the sky, pull the right hand down to the ground. You could either look up towards the left hand or you could gaze down at the ground or straight ahead. I find gazing down at the ground, you can just let the chin fall into the shoulder, the side, front side of the collarbones here. Get a nice stretch in the left side of the neck. We'll be here for another 2 breaths. Breathe into the left side of the ribs. Can you maybe arch the side of the body a little bit more? Next inhale, bring the strap back up and overhead. Tip it over to the other side. The left hand's down to the ground. The right hand's reaching up. Really looking for this length all through the right side of the ribs now. Pull the strap towards the ground, up to the sky. Choose where you want to look. Several breaths here. Nice. Inhale, reaching back up. Really reach the strap up as high as you can. Nice. Exhale, bring it back forward. A couple rolls of the shoulders. You can adjust where you're holding. I'm getting a lot into the shoulders today. We'll certainly move the legs some. Bring the strap back up and overhead. And this time, exhale, you're pulling the strap back down, bending the elbows. And let it maybe tap right on the top of the shoulders or even come a little bit behind so it's resting even a little bit on the back side of the triceps and the shoulder blades. Pause there. Maybe you start to bend a little bit over the strap so the gaze comes up to the ceiling. Sit up nice and tall. We'll flow through a little bit. So inhale, reach the strap up. Exhale, bend the elbows, pulling it behind the head. Maybe behind the shoulder blades. Inhale, reaching up. And really pull the strap if you want more work out in either direction as you come down. Try to resist the movement downward like someone had a little hand underneath your elbow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, resist. Pull the strap out in either direction. Nice. Coming up, inhale. And try not to arch and thrust the rib cage forward. So keeping nice and tall. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pulling down. Nice. You might be starting to feel some of this work in the arms. Inhale, reaching up. We'll do it twice more. Exhale, pull down. A little bit of resistance. Pulling out in either direction. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw down. Nice. Inhale, reach. And exhale, coming in front of the body now. You can let it relax in the lap. You can just shake out the arms. We'll give the hands a little bit of a shake here. You can place your strap or whatever off to the side for a moment. Reach the hands out in front of you. Hands are the same height as the shoulders. Turn the palms towards each other. And then try to draw the hands away from you just by drawing them a little bit further out of the shoulder socket. And then plug them back in. Really squeeze the shoulder blades on the back of the body. Exhale, reach forward. Get a little stretch across the back of the neck, the back of the shoulder blades. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Draw the hands back towards the body. One more time like this. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, draw back. Nice. And then just wiggle the fingers. Find that spot in the middle. And as you wiggle the fingers, it probably feels a little bit weird. You might even start to feel some of the movement up into your elbow. Really wiggle them. Just getting a little bit of more circulation into the forearms, the fingers, the wrist. You can make little fists for a moment. Nice. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Maybe even starting to notice some weird fatiguing happening now in some of the forearm muscles. Maybe in the shoulder muscles, holding the arms up. We're going to give the shoulders and the arms a break in a second. We're going to get into the legs. Just another moment of this weird kind of wiggling motion. Nice, and shake that off. Roll the shoulders. And make sure you're really nice and steady and stable on your seat. Go ahead and lift the left leg long out in front of you. Press out through the heel. And it doesn't have to be lifted high. And if you feel like you kind of don't have enough room and it feels weird how you're sitting on the edge of the chair, you could scoot a little bit forward or a little bit back. Make some adjustments. You're pressing out through the left heel, the toes coming into the kneecap. And you can have whatever bend of the knee here. Turn the toes out and away towards your left side. You're trying to rotate all the way up and into the hip sockets. You might even use your hands to help encourage the thigh to roll out to the left. And then turn the toes in, and then thigh rolling in now. You can even shift a little bit more weight into the right seat here, the right thigh, so they have a little bit of room. So we can almost pick up the back side of the left leg to help it turn. Shift the toes out. We do that another time out. Once more coming in. And this time, point the toes, turn the leg out to the side. You notice a different sensation on the front of the ankle, maybe even up into the IT band. And do this, turning the foot and the toes in, rotating in. Nice. We'll just give the ankle a roll here in one direction, getting a little bit of length in the back of the leg here while we do this. Roll in the other way. Maybe a little bit of fatiguing starting to happen up in the hip flexor. The left foot comes back down to the ground. And just give the legs a little wash in and out. Maybe you add a little bit of a dance move situation here. As many of you have seen, those are the extent of my dance moves. And we pick up the right foot, press out through the heel. Try to spread the toes even. Nice. Up nice and tall. You can always use the hands, one or both, on the low back to help make sure that you're not just sitting back in the chair with the back rounding towards the back side of the chair. Really lift the heart up. Nice. And then start to turn the right toes out to the right, even turning the whole thigh up and into the hip socket. Turn the toes in towards the middle of the body. You can shift a little weight over to the left seat. Turn the toes out. Turn the toes in one more time. And then point the foot. Turn the foot a little bit out to the side. It'll be a little bit harder to do it this direction. And turn the top of the foot in towards the center of the body. Nice. Come back. Just roll the ankle one direction. Sit up nice and tall. Roll in the other direction. Nice. Plant the foot back down on the ground. Take the feet out a little bit wider now. Maybe even the feet come to the width of the chair seat or even a little bit wider still. Go ahead and lengthen out the left leg, kick it out. Lengthen out the right, kick out through the heel. Alternate back and forth a couple of times, kicking out. Maybe exhale, kick the right. Inhale, back down. Exhale, kick left. Exhale, back down. Nice. And then bring the feet both firmly planted on the ground. The toes pointed a little bit out to either side. The hands on the thighs, the mid or upper thigh, and start to dip your left shoulder over towards your right knee. And it's not getting there, it's just heading in that direction. The chest is coming a little bit over the right thigh. Pause there for a couple breaths. You might really push the left thigh out and away. Get a nice stretch here in the left side of the ribs, the low back. Come back up to the center, start to shift over towards the left thigh now. The right shoulder heading towards the left thigh. There's a little bit of a twist here as well. Maybe you push a little bit more on the right thigh. That'll even get a little bit of a stretch on the inner right thigh. Great. And now we alternate back and forth, dipping one shoulder. Inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale, dip. Inhale, press into the feet, sit up. Exhale, dip over. Inhale, sit up. Exhale. Once more, either side. Inhale. Exhale. Twist maybe a little bit deeper now that you've gotten used to this movement. Once more, back over to the side. Nice. Come all the way back up. And we'll turn over and turn to the right. So your right foot is off the side of the chair, the ankle right underneath the knee. And you're kind of sitting with the right thigh and right seat on the chair, but the left seat's starting to hang off a little bit. Start to wiggle the foot back. We're finding our low lunge shape here. You might have a pretty deep bend of the left knee for a moment. And really start to draw, maybe even the left knee is almost right underneath the hip. Start to draw by pressing into the left toes, the left kneecap a little bit further down to the ground. So it's going from here to pressing the left toes in the ground, pulling there so you get even more of a stretch in the front side of the thigh. And then start to turn the chest a little bit over more towards the right knee. So your chest is facing forward. You can either stay right here. You could take the arms up and overhead for a couple of breaths. You make sure that your right ankle is right underneath the right knee. This might be your happy spot. Maybe you want to bring the hands, the right thumb on or left thumb on top to interlace the fingers. Maybe even the fist kind of rest on the seat of the chair and then actually gives you like a little way to boost and sit the torso up a little higher. Maybe you stay right here. For those who are looking to come up into a more standing pose, you can start to press into both feet and lift the seat off to hover from the chair. Immediately starting to fire up the leg. That might mean the left leg comes a little bit longer, a little bit straighter. Also be right here on the seat of the chair. Any distance between the 2 feet. Really starting to squeeze the elbows in towards each other, opening the heart, taking advantage of that opening that we did with the scarf earlier. Nice, big breath here. Nice, exhale, unclasp the hands. Wiggle the left foot in a little bit closer towards the middle of the seat. Help that to pivot you over towards the left side of your seat. Your left foot coming off to the side, the left thigh resting on the seat, the left ankle underneath the left knee. Start to wiggle the right foot back further behind you, a bend of the right knee, and the heel stacked right over the ball of the foot. From here, before we do anything else, press into the right foot, draw the front of the right knee down. So you get this engagement in the leg, the right heel's pushing back behind you too, a nice deep stretch on the front of the right hip, and then turning the chest over towards the left knee. You can reach arms up and overhead, palms facing towards each other. Sit up nice and tall. Yeah, breathing still, right? So nice, big, long, deep breaths. If you'd like to try that interlace, maybe it's the right thumb coming on top this time. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. For those who want to try, get really steady in the feet. Start to press into both feet. Hover the thigh and the hips off the seat of the chair. You'll be just hovering because you want that deep bend of the left knee. Staying right here, really focusing on the stretch is great too. Nice. 2 more breaths. Unclasp the hands, they were clasped. Use your hand on the seat of the chair. Shift a little bit forward as you bring the right foot back up and then turn to the center. Bring the soles of the feet together. So you might need to shift pretty far forward on your chair. And they might not get like all the way so the bottom of the feet from the big toe to the pinky side is touching. There's a little bit of a gap on the pinky toe side for me. And this will depend on the height of your chair too, what exactly this looks like, but you're letting the knees fall a little bit out to the side. This can be like a really nice place to rest. You can just let gravity help to pull the knees out to the side. If you push the feet together, as soon as I push the feet together, the leg muscles all the way up and into the hip socket and the glute fire up just by pushing my feet into each other. So I push those into each other, then those muscles engage, and then I'm actually trying to push my feet together so my knees go out a little bit to either side. That knees going out to either side will then let them go down a little bit as well. So stay here for a couple of breaths, pressing into the feet, sitting up nice and tall. Hands can be on the seat of the chair. You're firing up into the hip sockets. Nice. Maybe you even feel this a little bit in the low back, a little bit of strengthening there. As you're using the strength of the back to sit up nice and tall. 2 more big breaths. A little smile maybe. You're deciding how much you're pressing your feet into each other. Yeah, I'm not there making you do anything. All right, 1 more big breath. Oh, but this can feel pretty intense if you're doing that quite a lot. So you slowly release the push of the feet. Bring the feet back out. And we face back over the right side. Find our warrior 2 shape now. So the right ankle under right knee. So just stretch the left foot back. It's a little bit in front of the chair. Or off to the front side of the chair. And you're trying to get the bottom of the left foot to plant down on the ground. And then we're pressing back through the pinky side, trying to lift the inside of the arch so that the whole leg is pressing back. You're pressing back through the outside of the heel. You can either stay right here. You can start to spin the ribs for a little bit of the twisting action in the chest so that the ribs are facing off towards the right side or the front of your seat. You can take the arms out nice and long, gaze over the right fingertips. And you decide here if you want to start to shift a little bit of your weight forward. So it's a little bit up towards the right foot, a little bit forward. And then as you come off the seat, maybe you hover a little bit. Maybe that means you walk the right foot in a little bit so that the feet are a little bit more in line with each other. You'll get a feel for that as you start to come up. Also stay right here. Making sure as you make your way back down, if you try to get up, your seat's actually underneath you. Right here, this is a lot of work to press the inner thigh up and out to get a stretch in the outside of the ankle here. You're trying to draw the right knee a little bit more over towards the right pinky toe. Nice. One more big breath here, reaching out through the fingers. And the hands come down to the hips. We shift the feet all the way through center, all the way over towards the left. So the left foot is off the left side of the chair, ankle underneath the knee, the thigh right on the front side of the seat. And you start to press the left foot back at some point, or the right foot back. At some point, maybe the bottom of the foot comes down to the ground, sealing in, lifting the arch of the foot, pressing through the pinky side. Use the hands to help encourage the chest out and away and towards the middle of the feet. You can take the gaze over the fingers as you reach out. Some will want to start to press into the feet. Shift a little bit into the left foot as you start to press in, lift up off the seat. Maybe wiggle the left foot in a little bit so that you feel a little bit more stable and like it's not too much of a stretch. Nice. Also be back here, carefully sitting back down. If you're up, we'll have 3 more breaths. Standing, the option as we come out of it is to pivot on the feet into standing. You can also sit back down and then make your way back into the middle. All right, bring the hands down to the hips. Walk the feet back in, just this little wiggle negotiation. Find your seat in the center. And go ahead and shift a little bit over towards the right side of your seat. Shifting over so that you're on the right side of the seat. And then your right knee or knee thigh is going to come off the seat a little bit. You might shift a lot of weight over into your left hand as you experiment with starting to pick up the right foot and draw it up and in and holding onto the shin, the ankle, maybe the foot. Start to draw the right knee down to the ground. And you can use your hand on the outside, the left side of the chair as a little bit of anchor. It's a little bit of like a balance. Of course, also an option to stand up and take this front of the quad stretch standing, even turning it into a dancer's like pose if you know that. From here, really start to kick the foot into the hand. That'll immediately start to intensify the stretch on the front of the quad. You're trying to turn the right side of the chest a little bit more towards the front knee. It kind of wants to follow the foot back behind you, but you're trying to resist that. So there's definitely some strengthening happening in the right side of the body. Bring you back in to face the center, the left side as well. We'll have another big breath here, reaching down through the knee. Nice. And then hug it back in. You can shift a little bit over to the side. Start to kick the foot over. So your right foot is now off to the side. The foot's about in line with the hip. It's a little bit of a variation of what's called gate pose. You can have the left ankle right underneath the knee. You can start to slide the hand down the right thigh, maybe down to the calf. You're getting a stretch through the left side of the body. You can either stay right here. It might feel okay to reach the arm straight up and overhead. Maybe it feels okay to reach it, the palm facing down overhead, and either looking up at the ceiling or looking down at the ground. You decide how much weight you're putting into the right foot here, if there's any sensitivity in that leg. Breathing into the left side of the ribs. Looking to expand the ribs a little bit by breathing into them, by pushing the left seat a little bit more into the ground. So this left foot is active. You're pressing the left heel into the ground. You're trying to press the left seat into the seat of the chair. So have one more big breath here. Bring the hand, if it was reaching up and overhead, back to the seat of the chair. A soft bend into the right knee, all the way back up. And we're going to shift all the way over to the other side. Shifting to the left side of the chair. Left side of the chair, and then the left seat is pretty much off of it. And support yourself on the right hand as you shift over. Find somewhere to hold the ankle, the shin, the foot. Coming to shift so the torso is a little bit more upright. You can use the hand on the chair, a little anchor as you start to draw the left knee down towards the ground. Start to lift the heart up, the chest up away from the leg. Kick a little bit in to the hand with the foot. So the hand's not just pulling the leg back. You're actually pressing wherever the leg is meeting the hand into the hand. And that will engage the muscles of the leg and help to stretch them and not strain them accidentally. Okay? So kicking back, starting to turn the left side of the chest a little bit up and over towards the right knee. Nice. Another big breath here. Start to shift a little more weight into the right hand. Slowly and carefully release the foot back into the ground. Walk the left foot over towards the left side. The foot is in line with the hips, probably the front edge of the chair. And you're trying to plant the whole kind of bottom of the foot on the ground, just like you would in warrior pose. You're pressing through the pinky side, lifting the arch of the foot. But if this is where you are with a little bit more weight on the big toe side and that feels like the right place for you to be, great. Start to slide the hand down the left leg, stopping anywhere along the way. You can tent up on the fingers so you're not pressing too much weight into the leg. The right hand can be on the right hip. You're starting to turn, make this C shape on the right side of the body. You can stay right here. You can reach the arm up overhead, palm facing down. Press into the right C. It's heavy. Reach through the right fingertips. The left shoulder's not scrunching up to the left ear like mine was starting to. Breathe into the sides of the ribs. Really think of that seat being heavy. Press through maybe the pinky side of the left foot a little bit more. Lift your left arch. Stamp a little more into the right heel. Yeah, immediately get a little bit stronger there. One more breath. And then the hand coming back to the hip, a little support, bend of the left knee, and all the way back up. Shift your weight back into the center of the seat. We'll do a balancing pose, eagle pose, Garudasana. So if you'd like to try this standing, you're more than welcome to. Start by reaching the arms up. Exhale, bring the left arm on top. Give yourself this nice big hug. Start to round the spine in, sway a little side to side. You could be doing this standing as well. It's this big hug. Letting the chin fall into the chest. You can roll the neck side to side. This will feel probably really good after some of those poses you just did. Getting more into the legs, the low back strengthening. Nice. Go ahead and start to sit the spine up nice and tall. Great. And you have the stretch of the elbows away from the chest here, starting to bring the elbows to the same height as the shoulders. Nice. You have the left arm on top. Yeah, the left arm is on top of the legs. So go ahead and pick up your right foot, cross it over. Maybe this is a great place for you. Maybe it's more of this shape with the right ankle crossed on the top of the thigh, that figure four shape that we did last week. Maybe you start to find that cross of the legs. Some will start to press the thighs in towards each other. Press the foot on the outside of the leg. Maybe some will even start to wrap the foot back behind there. These are all just like variations, whichever one's feeling better for you. You can keep with this shape of the shoulders here. Could also start to try to bring the fingers up to the sky. Maybe immediately that doesn't feel good and you come back with the hands on the shoulders. You press maybe the backs of the hands into each other. Maybe you wrap the wrists. So you could be all the way wrapped here, ankles wrapping around each other, wrists. Maybe you relax any of those shapes. Coming even all the way back here to this figure four and this hug. Wherever you are, drawing the elbows away from the chest, drawing them out, drawing the fingers away from the head if the hands are lifted up. You're squeezing the legs in towards each other. Even in here, it's like the knees were going to try to meet even though they might not, given your cross. But if you're here, you're really squeezing the inner thighs together. You're pressing the foot into the leg. Maybe you're balancing as well and finding a spot to focus on. Something that's not moving. 3 more breaths. Breathe into the back of the lungs. You can direct the breath to help you stretch different areas. Nice. Slowly unwrapping the hands and the wrists if they're wrapped. Everyone bringing their hands back to the shoulders, the elbows coming into the chest, slowly relaxing the arms, and then helping to unravel the legs, feet coming back down on the ground. You can sway the knees side to side here. Do that on the other side, sit up nice and tall. Now sweep the arms up and overhead. This time the right arm on top. Give yourself that nice big hug. You start by rounding in and swing side to side if you'd like. Nice big bear hug. Even squeeze the fingers. Give yourself a little bit of love here. Softening the jaw. Immediately when we start to move into the shape, it often tightens up. So we start with it soft, and we'll come back to that, sitting up nice and tall, trying to draw the elbows away, out from the chest, sitting up really, really tall. Go ahead and pick your left foot up. Start to wrap the left, maybe ankle to thigh, or ankle or knees stacking on top of each other. Be having the foot out to the side, or maybe you start to squeeze the inner thighs, so the foot's starting to hug the outside of the right leg. And you choose wrap of the ankle or not. You choose the fingers up or not, wrapping or not. See if it's different on the side. So even if it didn't feel good to try the wraps on the other side, maybe this side has a little bit more openness, and you could try that here. Maybe you back off a little bit on this side. We'll have 5 long breaths here. Pressing into your seat, pressing into the right heel. Squeezing inner thighs. Drawing elbows away from the chest, drawing fingers away from head. Breathe into the back of lungs. You find that little sound in the back of your throat again. That softness in your jaw. Did it tighten up? And last breath here. Slowly unraveling the wrists, hands coming to the shoulders, elbows coming into the chest, sliding the hands down to the lap can help the legs unravel. And this time sit on the edge of the chair and let the knees wash all the way over to the right side. The feet are about a good hips distance apart. You're shifting the chest a little bit with it as well. The knees fall all the way over towards the left side. The knees shifting too. Back over towards the right, coming into the edges of the feet, a little stretch in the ankles. Once more, back over towards the left. Maybe your chair is really creaky. Come back to the center. And we're going to try to get set up here really comfortable in a couple more restorative like shapes. So this is where the pillows come handy. And so you might want 2 pillows. First, we'll start by having yourself seated just like we did at the beginning of the class. So ankles right underneath the knees. And you try with maybe even a couple pillows to start, sitting right on your lap. Sit up nice and tall. Little wiggles to get adjusted there. The hands and the forearms can rest right on the stack of your pillows for a moment. You can close the eyes. Let the chin fall down into the chest. Let the head be really heavy. Still sitting upright. Just let the weight of the head come forward, stretching into the back of the neck. Couple rounds of rolling the neck. Letting right ear come towards right shoulder. Pause there. Chin back down into the center of the chest, slowly making your way there. And start to let the left ear come towards right shoulder, pausing there, feeling the stretch in the right side of the neck. Chin coming back to the center. inhale here. Maybe a big breath out of the mouth. Try that again. Inhale through the nose. Start to fold over your pillows here. And for some, this will look like nestling the forearms into the pillows, letting the chin fall into the chest. Being really happy right here, folding in. Some this will look like actually bringing the forearms parallel with the front side of your pillow or seat and stacking maybe them on top of each other and then putting your forehead on top of the forearms. Some people will start to shift a little bit forward and you can adjust the nestling. It feels really good sometimes to have the pillows nestle pretty deeply underneath your low belly, so you can adjust for that. Maybe some you start to fold over and maybe the hand stack, and that's a little rest for your chin or forehead. Some will want to drape the arms over the legs, find somewhere to rest their head. It can be even to one side, one cheek. And we're using the support of the pillows to help span any gap between the belly and the thighs and the chest. So you add as many as you want. You take away some that you don't like. Any height here, we're looking to curl in. Looking to take really long, deep breaths. Get really cozy here. We'll be here for about a minute. Use every exhale to give a little bit more weight to the support of the pillows. Every exhale, softening shoulders, softening the jaw, and open the mouth and roll the jaw around. This curling in type of shape can feel very protective. It can feel very calming. And when you're ready, you press the fingers, if they're reaching down to the ground, back up to the pillows. Maybe finding a way for the forearms to press down, and you start to press under the hand, come all the way up to sit. Take a nice big breath. And turn to face the right side of your seat. Turn to face the right side. Now you're going to take the pillows back on the seat of the chair, or the back side of the chair. Sorry, the support. I'm going to turn a little bit so that you can see this from an angle. This height of the pillows and this placement is going to depend on the height of your chair. I'll obviously have a high backed chair. So for me, this looks like putting one pillow kind of right on the back of, or the edge of the chair as this little bit of support and cushioning, and then nestling another pillow kind of into the side of my neck. And you're basically looking to kind of lean over the back side of the chair. If you have a shorter chair, you could be stacking the pillows and then placing your elbow on that, and then maybe even like making this cup of the hands, like you're going to do a crunch, and cupping the side of your head. Looking to find somewhere to rest a little bit on the right side. And both knees are coming off the right side of your seat here. So squeaky. And you're going to take the left arm up and overhead. And you're going to start to drape the left arm on top of the left ear. And for me, My hand then can kind of rest right on the pillows. That might not be the case for you. Maybe it's hanging out in the air. Kind of adjust and see if that feels okay. If it's not feeling okay to have the arm long to drape up and over, you could take the hand to cup this side of the head and tilt the elbow up to the sky. Maybe you kind of bend the elbow and let the hand rest on the back, on the shoulder. We're looking for just this little slight side bend, just like we did earlier. The right hand could rest in the lap. I had it kind of nestled up in the pillows, which felt nice too, but you can do either. Looking at the side stretch, and it's really gentle, a little bit more relaxed than that active one we did earlier. We're going to take 8 or so long breaths here. Stay here for about a minute. And close the eyes. Maybe change how the arm is placed. If it gets bothersome to have it stretched out, bending the elbow, maybe trying to unbend it for a moment or two, but now that you've found the shape. Two more breaths here. Nice. Start to bend the left elbow a little bit, walking it up and in, bring it back to the left. Use your hands on the leg and maybe on the back side of the chair to bring you all the way upright. Bring the pillows to your lap and just sitting up tall here in this direction. Close the eyes maybe and notice how you feel. There really wasn't much movement there. It may have had a calming effect once you got settled in. I'm going to shift all the way over so the knees are off the left side of the chair. Turn my chair back to the center. Knees are off the left side, and you take your time. Plant the feet down on the ground here, ankles underneath knees. Take your time to set up your pillow situation on this side. Any place where you can lean a little bit into the back of the chair. And then once you've found that leaning, you can take the right arm up, push it really high up to the sky, get a lot of length, press down to the right seat. And maybe start to drape the arm over the ear, the hand coming back behind, either resting on a pillow or the back of the chair, bending the elbow any amount. And then you're drawing the right hips a little bit further over to the side, away from the back of the chair. Breathing deeply into the right ribs. Letting the left arm relax. Doesn't do anything here. 8 or so really long breaths. Two more long breaths. Little bend of the right elbow, the right hand coming back down, using the left arm on the back of the chair, pressing into the left elbow maybe. Come all the way to sit up. Bring your pillows into your lap. Sit up nice and tall. Big breath in. Breath out. Noticing how you feel on that side. Hopefully a little bit even. Swing back all the way to the center, a gentle twist before we take our final meditation. You can have the pillows resting in your lap still. Grow really nice and tall. Start to turn the chest over towards the right side of the seat. The right hand can come back behind you. Depending on the height of your chair, you can kind of hook the arm on the back edge of the chair. Use your hands on the pillows, a little leverage to turn the left shoulder a little bit more to the right side. The right shoulder coming a little further back. Really gentle. Gaze back towards the right shoulder or right at your pillows. Slowly come back to the center. Switch up the hands. Hand resting on the lap. Maybe hanging off the left side of the pillow. Start to turn towards the left. Fingertips on the seat of the chair, helping to lift you up, or hooking the left arm on the back edge of your chair. Using the hands, just a little bit of leverage to turn left shoulder back, right shoulder forward, and to the side. Gaze either back or anywhere all the way to looking at the pillows. Nice. Come slowly back to the center. And an option here, if you want to stay seated in your chair but can get up and slide maybe a little bit of extra height under you, you might slide that little bit of extra height so the legs are dangling a little bit. And you can sit back into your chair so you have more of the height or the support of the back of the chair underneath you. The feet kind of dangle here, sway them a little bit side to side. You could also be sitting right on the seat of the chair and just scooting back. Another option that's really nice to take if you're willing and able to get up and out of the chair, I'll turn mine so you can see, is to lie down on the ground. You have a pillow or a little pillow under your head. Come down, roll onto your side. Bring the backs of the calves now onto the seat of the chair. And maybe your other pillows on the seat of the chair. A little bit of extra padding. Adjust to get comfy. The knees and the feet can be out as wide as you like. The hands can rest on the body. If you're seated in your chair, I'm going to move back that direction. If you're seated in your chair, you could be doing the same thing with a hand on the belly, a hand on the heart. Take several long breaths. Feel the skin to skin contact. Feel the skin to fabric contact. What's the texture? What's the temperature? Where do you feel the body making space for the breath? And then softening as you breathe out. Feel this sensation now. If you're lying on the ground, you might feel this on the back side of the body as well as you inhale. The back presses into the ground or the seat of the chair and softens in. Another breath here. We'll take a couple of those big clearing breaths. Big inhale through the nose. Big breath out of the mouth. Twice more like that. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, let it out. Once more. Bring both hands to the heart. Stack one palm right on top of the other. And if you're lying down on the ground, you could stay lying on the ground for a while longer. Maybe find a timer to set. You could stay seated in meditation for a little bit longer. As we close out this practice together, a little soft bow of the head into the hands, thanking yourself for making this time to move, to breathe, to connect. I thank you so much for joining, for laughing along, playing a little. And lift the head, open the eyes, and let the hands relax if you're ready to go on with your day. If not, you stay seated or lying down. I hope to see you all again soon. I'm Emily, and I hope that you're well.